Lap 26 of the 2022 British Grand Prix, Lewis Hamilton is now leading the race. My God, what a race, what a drive, what a driver. So Lewis Hamilton is the GOAT with certainty. Thank you for watching. Happy 4th of July for those of you in America. I took some time off that I needed, and I'll explain later. If I do that, I want to always, I'm sure we all agree, that thank God to the safety built into the Formula One cars today, that we saw what took place yesterday left the drivers uninjured. You know, for me, as a Formula One fan, it wasn't about the way, the speed that the car rolled. It wasn't about that it rolled, but the danger zone of what took place yesterday. The scary part is when a car rolls or even on its tires and hop skips. Whenever you see that, the energy transfers directly from the roof or from the floor into the driver's spine. As a matter of fact, this goes back to Sir Frank Williams, why he was bounded for a wheelchair the rest of his life. If you ask Peter Windsor, who was in the car with Sir Frank Williams, that's exactly what took place. When a car bounces, hop skips on its roof or on its floor, it's really bad in general for the driver's spine. Thank God that Formula One cars don't have any roof, so there was a gap, therefore there was less energy transfer to the driver's spine. It was really good to see that those drivers came out injury-free. I want to take this time to congratulate Mick Schumacher, a kid I call a privileged kid. And amongst all kids today in Formula One who dad's a former Formula One driver, Mick Schumacher's dad has the most money. Net worth $1.3 billion. Yet this kid is the most disciplined, the most socially conscious, the most respectful, and I'm really a big fan of Mick Schumacher. Congratulations, I wish him well. Many more success to come. That said, congratulations to Carlos. After 150 races, Carlos Sainz won his first race. But what I think he said yesterday is, once again, the lack of leadership of Ferrari from the top down. I think Mattias Bonito has to go in order for Ferrari to possibly do the best they can. He's not the leader that Ferrari needs. He's not Toto Wolff. He's not Christian Spice. He lacks the cutthroat of a leader. It's unfortunate, but sometimes you have to do that. Now, Carlos Sainz has a dad, we know Carlos Sr. Just like I love Formula One, has been a huge fan of WRC. Just like I bought a V10 Formula One car because of the William FW, I think it was a 21 or 22, the V10 from the BMW car. I also bought the same WRX STI Subaru, the Blood Eye era of 2005, with the total package of the WRC racing, suspension and everything else because of the WRC that I'm a huge fan of. And Carlos Sainz, we knew, drove the Subaru with the 555 number. I think Carlos Sainz, just like Jos Verstappen, has an influence on Mattias. I think that Mattias, again, is not the strong leader that can defy controversial actions for the benefit of the team as a whole. He could not decide when it was best for the team, because if you looked at the end of the race, Carlos Sainz's cousin, who happens to be Carlos Sainz's manager, walked directly in front of Mattias and stood right there. And Mattias reached out and hugged him, and he walked away. That is unspoken statement. It's a non-verbal, but it says a lot. Mattias is not the right leader. for Ferrari. Charles Leclerc was the rightful winner yesterday. So I took some time off for the following reason. I needed some time to clear my mind from the negative press that Lewis Hamilton have been subjected to for the last 10 or 15 days. The following people made their statements: David Coulthard, Mark Webber, Nelson Piquet Sr., Bernie Eccleston, former Red Bull test driver, Kelly Piquet, and even Max Verstappen have said things about Lewis Hamilton that is unfortunate, to a point when Lewis said, enough is enough. Personally, I don't know how Lewis can focus on his drive and yet still be subjected to the outside pressure, mainly lies, but it's such a negative press. When Bernie says, I spoke to Toto, I paraphrase, Toto is looking for a $20 million parachute package to get rid of Lewis. Lewis's best days are over. When a Red Bull driver says what he said, when Nelson Piquet calls Lewis Hamilton a black boy, in his language, I personally couldn't deal with it. I was going to make a video directly dedicated to such a negative, one after the other statement, but it would have been a video that I probably lived to regret. So I need it yesterday. And I think it's clear why when Lewis Hamilton, the back of his helmet says, "Still I rise," is a really special being. It takes someone special to overcome all the negatives that are around you, to get in a car like a Formula One car and did what he did. And you know what else I want to say? It may sound controversial, but what you see between Sir Lewis Hamilton, between Charles Leclerc, between Sergio Perez, what you saw, the close racing you saw, says exactly what I always believe. 2021 accident with Lewis and Max Verstappen was caused by Max Verstappen's lack of respect for the sport, for the fans, and for Sir Lewis Hamilton. What you saw was that Formula One drivers, they've been driving cars from karting. Open wheel racing is a dangerous sport. You don't want to have wheel-to-wheel contact. They came, they drove with respect, and the race was sensational. I'm so glad to be alive to see it. I'm so glad it took place, back-to-back podiums from Lewis Hamilton. I can't wait for the next race. I'm grateful to you. Thank you for watching. God bless you.